Okay. So the first thing we're going to start with is photo books. So we hit next. Obviously, like you can see cards and calendars. We're going to go over that too. So we hit next. We have a bunch of different options. There's like the soft cover, there's a smaller option, the square. We're just going to do like the first one, the hard cover, which is just the standard like paper size. So click create. Okay, and now we have a bunch of different options. You can see like, they all have like names, and it'll say like a photo minimum. I'm going to choose 21. Okay, so when you go right into your photo book, you can either do an autofill option, which just takes your photos from your library and just fills it into the book. So these would be all filled up, or you could have it like this where I could insert it on my own. But if you wanted to do like an autofill option, you can press on or off with the autofill. But what we want to do is, I want to show you how to import your photos. So I have holidays right here. I'm just going to throw that in my albums. Take a second to load. Okay. So it says successfully imported 33 files. All right. And now we can go to my albums, drag holiday.
Yeah, it's Untitled.
Okay. There it is. Just took a couple of seconds.
That's the project she's working on.
And I press continue. And since I had hit that autofill option, when I click on this, it inserts everything itself.
Everything.
Obviously, you can go in and change it if you want. This is just like to make it quicker so we're not individually doing everything. But if you want to change it, you can go to photos, and you have all your options on the side over here. Since I used the autofill option, it just imported everything, so you can see that everything's checked. But if I wanted to put in this photo here, obviously it changes, and I can go to photos, and I see that the photo that I just replaced it is now unchecked, so that means it's not used anywhere else in the book. I can just insert that back. So you can see here, you can see here it has these little add title slots or text, and then this over here is the bind of the book. So we can just say like, I don't know, happy holidays. And holiday photo book 2018. And then you could make like a subtitle too, if you just want your name or, I don't know, your last name, like your family, something like that. So we did the adding our photos, but if you want to like to play with your photos a little, you can like zoom in using like the zoom in function right here. The transform that I just clicked, show that again. Make it smaller if you want, move it around on the screen. You can even like rotate it. If you want to do that. And then if you also want, you can make this a full page spread. So this is just like another cool thing you can do. If you wanted to like layer your photos onto like this background photo, I can say, out. So now I have these options to put on the background photo. I can click that, just click 2 random ones. So that's how you just like layer the photo. Okay. Now, there's another thing. So if you wanted to edit your photos, you double click your image and you can go in, and you can change, like the lightness of it, maybe you want it darker, color. If you wanted to make it black and white, we have a whole bunch of different options, levels, and then you can just click done, and it will show up on your screen. One little thing that we sometimes have questions about is sometimes when you have like really high quality photos and you're looking at your photos in this image, and some people will ask like, why does it look not as high quality in this format, like what I'm telling you right now? But all you have to do is click it and it goes back to that edit mode, and then that's when you're in like the full resolution. Okay. So now, say I wanted to take pages 8 and 9 and put them in front of 2 and 3. I can click organize. And I can do is select that and move it there. So for right now, you can only move the 2 pages at a time, so you can't do a singular page. But we are looking to like implement that in like future updates. If you wanted, and you want to obviously add pages, the plus sign, and it gives you 2 more pages. So now if we start off with these blank pages, we can go in. We can choose a layout. Maybe I want like a full page spread. And maybe you want like a panorama, so I'm going to take like panorama photos. And I can go and select a photo. Just do that. And now you have this full page spread. And I just want to go through like other layouts. So you have to select the page first. Press page. You can put 4 photos. And then you add which ones you want. Okay. So as you can see from all these pages, they all have like white backgrounds. So if you wanted to change the background, all you have to do is press background. And you have like a bunch of different options here. So let's just say we want a black background. And that's how you change your background. Say we wanted to rename our project. See, I have it over here. It's this one selected. It's Untitled. You would just Control, click, or right click. We'll just say Holiday 2018. And that's how you rename the project. If you wanted to view it like without all this editing stuff going on, click this. Now it's in preview mode. So you can just flip through. So you get out of it. Now
Michelle,
let's just say,
Michelle,
yes.
I think we're having a little trouble. We hear you, but you're kind of blurred. How would you say it? Is everybody hearing what you're saying?
Need subtitles.
Too much bass.
It's a rumble of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, you're not coming across clearly. Maybe.
Should I try it without the headphones?
Change.
Yeah.
Yes,
Way on that.
Okay.
but don't just,
Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me better now?
yeah,
I thought we said that.
Is it?
yes.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
It's clear.
Oh, okay. I guess it was just the headphones. All right. Do you want me to? I could redo it if you want.
No, just go on.
No,
Okay. Okay. So let's go back into. Oh, I was at. So originally, when we had imported our holiday file over here, it autofilled all these options. What we can also do is go back to the edit mode. And we can say we want these photos now. It's gonna take a second to import. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. And we drag those photos in. Oh, that was the wrong one. Hold on. Drag them into holiday. And okay, so we still have all of our photos from the holiday, but now since I still had the autofill option and I just dragged in that entire other album, it just automatically puts in the album. And obviously, if you want to get rid of these or change them out, you can delete them, change them out like I showed you before, or you click photos and you can go in. And the check ones, again, are the ones that are already used. One other thing. So when you go through your photo albums, you always want to check if you have any of these red exclamation points. And what that just means it's a lower resolution photo, so it might come out a little blurry. Obviously, if you still want to like go ahead with it, you can. It's not gonna just delete, you know. Though I have printed out my own photo book where it's just I used a full page spread and the resolution, this little exclamation point came up and it still looks the way I want it to look. But I would advise definitely like switching out the picture for a higher resolution. Okay. So what else? Let's say we want to choose a new layout for this page. And we want one photo. We want to move this around. So go to transform. And maybe I want to move it up, and maybe I want to add a text box under it. So I selected the page, I pressed text, and then I'm saying add empty text box. And then you have your empty text box. You can just say handles, whatever you can write. So that's just if you want to add any text anywhere on your pages. Now, just like a little thing, say I selected my text and I want to move it around. And like, let's just say I put it over here. it's gonna say to you, some text may be cut off when printed. So obviously you're gonna wanna move it back into the page. But just advising you, you don't wanna mess up. Okay. What else for photo books? I don't think there's anything else we would need to go over. Oh, just say we don't like this theme and we wanted to switch it out. You can change your theme and it'll bring you back to that page. But just be advised, when you do this, it's not going to come out exactly the same as you have it here on like this screen, because you are changing the theme. But if you wanted to change the theme, you have that option. Just another thing, if you ever get like confused or maybe something went wrong in the buying process and you forgot to put in your promo code or something, you could always just click this button. It says support. It's a little chat, and you say start new conversation, and you just type whatever you need, and then we'll respond within like 5 minutes. So that's a good little thing to have.
Michelle,
Yes.
is that something new that
The chat box?
being able to communicate and get instant response? Support.
Is it new, like, are you talking about from the app photos?
In other words, I didn't have that when I used to do through Apple. I never had that option. Is that new?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's new,
Okay.
because I don't remember ever seeing that either.
Okay.
It could have been on their website, I'm not totally sure, but it's definitely new, like it being right there in your app.
Okay. We're gonna have. Can you take some questions on the book now?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Marilyn.
My question is, can you place the text anywhere other than the background? Can you place it?
Oh yeah, sorry, I could totally do that. Hold on. So I press transform, and I could just put it on the screen. And if you want to go to text, you could change the text. I don't want that, or I want like to show the picture. So yeah, you could put it on
I see.
the picture if you wanted.
Any more questions? One second. Okay, we have another couple questions.
Theoretically, could you create a full-page text, maybe the repetition of Merry Christmas on the whole page, and then superimpose a picture on top of that, or put it behind the picture?
Putting the text behind the picture.
Yeah.
So are you saying, wait, hold on. Change this. And let's put it back to red. So having like a bunch of these.
Just in your case,
Are you saying like making like the picture sort of see-through?
not really, no, opaque on top of,
Do you want to be able to read the word Christmas?
it would be 50 Merry Christmases as a background. The whole page would be.
Oh, the whole page?
With Merry Christmas.
Textured page.
Of just text? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the whole page would be a zillion Merry Christmases with a picture on top.
Yes.
Right. In other words, it would be Merry Christmas, maybe 100 times,
Yeah.
and then have a picture in the center of it or
Or as
whatever.
a general question, texturing the page.
What was that?
Texturing the page behind the picture.
Texturing the page.
Yeah.
The same thing
It's
in general.
It's like layering the text behind the picture, I think is what she's saying.
Or you're just saying like this, like, okay, I think I know what you're saying. Okay, great.
Like wrapping paper.
Yeah, like wrapping paper.
Like wrapping paper.
This like the back. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. All right. I don't believe you can do that, like putting the text behind.
So you can't put text on it. How big can the text box be?
Yeah, I don't think we have that option. That is a good, that's something to think about. Hold on. Option to put text.
You could probably do it, but it would be really.
Okay. I don't believe we have that option right now, but I'm definitely gonna.
I have an idea, you could do that. You could,
That makes sense to have to put the text behind.
Create the text, turn it into a JPEG, and treat it as a picture.
Take a picture of
Take a
wrapping
picture of
paper.
wrapping
take a picture of the wrapping paper.
Yeah, you could do that. That's what I thought you had meant in the beginning, but yeah, it's definitely an option too.
I mean, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there isn't, doesn't appear to be,
Feature.
Where you enter your text, so.
Yeah, an option to put the picture over. Yeah.
So you can't make the picture transparent.
They could be wrapping paper with snowflakes on it
right.
behind it. not-
Okay, we have another question.
Can you do text balloons?
Ah.
Text balloon.
Like a balloon in a cartoon where it's pointing to somebody's mouth?
Oh,
We don't have that option.
captions.
However, you could just like get a picture of a balloon or text thing from like Google or something and insert it like you would like a picture and then have like it on top of it, like the text on top of the bubble.
Okay.
Copy a quote.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Any other question? No, go ahead. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to create the calendar. So since we're already in our project and we don't need to reopen the app or anything like that, hold on, let me go ahead now. We just go to our projects, calendar, Mimeo photos, select that, create. Just a little tidbit, I guess. If you wanted to create your calendar without US holidays, like, I don't know, maybe you wanted French holidays or Canadian holidays or something, you could go to System Preferences and select Language and region, not religion, language and region. And obviously you could select your region. You could change the first day of the week to what you want. And then when you would do that, you would have to exit out of the, hold on, I'll just show you guys. Let's say we're doing, let's do Canada. So it just changed. Hold on, no, that's not it. So I would make a new calendar since I just made that as like a US calendar. New photos, calendars, create. And now you can see it includes Canadian holidays. And And you can obviously change the month you want the year to start on. But let's go back to US. Okay. Press continue. Okay, and now you have the same thing as like the photo books. You want to select the theme. Let's just do this one, big date. And just like before, we could rename our project. 19. And we can switch out our photos. And just keep in mind again that the checked means it's in the project, and the unchecked means it's not on the project. And we can add our title. And another thing, if you do not want to add a subtitle, you could just delete it, but let's just say you forget or you wanted to add a subtitle and you just didn't do it. When you go to like purchase your calendar, it won't show up as add subtitle in the printed version. So even if you like forget to delete it, it won't show up unless you put in text. Okay. So now when we want to go into our calendar, you have all these different tabs. So the next page would be, when you open a calendar, you have like the page on top and then you have the actual month. So we can change out this, photos. You could zoom in like we had done before. And then let's go to January. And obviously you can see that we have our events in already. So most people have New Year's Day, but since it's a US calendar, we have like Martin Luther King Day. And obviously if it was the Canadian calendar, it wouldn't have that. Okay, so now
Michelle,
we want, yes.
are you going to show them, or I'm assuming you can put a birthday into a date
Yes, that's what I was just gonna do.
and a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now you can see when we press events, we have all the events that are automatically put into the calendar because they're national holidays. Let's say you have a birthday. We're going to click add new event. You have all these. Do the 19th. So now it brings you to that little square. We want to put in a photo. Let's do this one. Just put in a name. And it would come out like that. We press done. And that's how it would show up. Okay. This. And then obviously everything, like before, we had put in the autofill my photos. So these would all be in the collage already. But you can go in and switch them out, or you could select a different layout, just like the photo books. So this is like 2 landscapes, maybe we want to do 4 boxes. And we click the photos, put put in the ones we want. And that's how it would show up. And we can go to preview, and then we can just look at our calendar.
Michelle,
Yes.
can you put any on the page with the pictures?
Mhm.
Can you add text to any of those pictures?
I'm pretty sure we can. I don't know. Oh, it's the collage, not the physical calendar, like more to the ones like what the dates are. But you have the option here. You could say like escapes. Okay. Change that. So yeah, you can add an empty text box to the collage part. You can't add it to the actual calendar. And the same thing goes for, not this one, this is a full page. If you wanted to change the background again, make it black. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for the calendar? A lot of the functionalities are the same as the book ID events and changing region.
Marilyn?
If you put, say you want to take, put pictures in for the calendar from an album, it seems to me when you're making a book or an album, it's a good idea to make, a book or a calendar, it's a good idea to make an album first so that you sort of have your pictures selected. If you put in autofill, will it go?
Yeah.
Will it go in the same order as they are in the album?
Oh, I could just check that. I actually never thought of that. I believe so. Okay, so it actually doesn't do that. Like if you have them in a certain order in the album. But you don't always have to, you don't have to like actually use autofill. I mean, I would say never use autofill because like depending on the pictures, I want them to look a certain way, like next to another picture. So you could always just unselect that and off.
I made these calendars for years and years, up until last year. And the only reason I didn't make them last year is that my kids did not get me the pictures on time. and so I went on strike. But I found that I really never did use autofill. Because I tried to place the pictures. If Leo's birthday was in October, I tried to put his birthday pictures from his birthday party in October. or if somebody graduated school in June, I did, a page for graduation, or if we all took a trip together in August or September, I would try to put the pic. So it really never used autofill. So and also I would make different. I would make different calendars, like for my first wife, the mother of my kids. She didn't want to see pictures of my current wife's kids, and so I made sure she had a calendar that was a little bit more specialized to her liking, and I mean, it can become a monumental process of making these calendars if you really are anal and conscious about what you're doing for each individual person. My brother used to say to me, why don't you just make the same calendar for everybody? But it really is great that you can specialize it and put the birthdays in it and so forth and so on. We have a couple questions.
Can you make like a day-by-day calendar? One year, my brother made one for my parents that was like a different page for each day with a picture on it.
Wow.
It was a lot of work.
Wait a
That's the
minute.
only time he did it.
What was it? Michelle, do you understand the question?
Are you saying like there's 365 pages?
Yes.
It took him months.
Oh, wow.
Got pictures from all over the place.
Can be a very
That was the only time he did
costly
it. I still have it though. because it's a
Can you
mess.
do it, Michelle?
You actually cannot. I've never thought of that, but that does sound really cool.
It's a nice permanent.
Michelle's going to go out and start her own company now and pick up all these ideas.
Yeah, right? Well, I'm writing it down for our development team.
How much would a 365-day calendar, that would be a rather expensive calendar. Might be
He
like
just made one for my parents. I think I got a black. and
$300 or
white.
$400 calendar.
Yes.
It's a big project.
Do we have another question?
Yes. Is it possible to put text on a day of the month without doing a photograph? Or does the text box only come after the photograph?
Oh, okay. So we could do that right now. Events, add new event. Let's say the 16th. And we can just say birthday, and it'll come up. So even though it says, let me make this big. Even though it says your photo here, as I said before, even though there's like this gray box, if there's nothing put into it, it's not going to show up on the calendar with this image that says your photo here. So it will be blank and it will just say what you typed into the box.
Yes. Michelle, I had a problem because my wife and my granddaughter's birthday was on the 30th of May. And I think I figured it out. I finally ended up taking a picture of the two of them together. And that's how I figured out how to get both of them in there. Is there a way of getting two pictures in there?
That's a good question. I don't believe there is. So you can't put like a double picture. You can like use an editing tool and then just crop them together kind of thing. But you can't add like two pictures to a date.
Okay. Any other questions in relationship to the calendar? No, go ahead.
All right. So our last thing is the card. These, like the landscape portrait option, are just front and back. And then obviously the folded portrait has like the inside. However, on the flat cards, you obviously have the picture on the front, and then on the back you can put in your text. So we're gonna do the bolded landscape because there's more to do. Make this big, or let's rename. Let's put it as card or holiday card. Okay. And now, oh, and even if you wanted to do it before you start the project, there is an option to unselect autofill my photos up here. So we could just do that. And now we can pick, let's do Happy Holidays. So since I did an autofill, it has your photo here, gray box. And we could choose a holiday photo or a landscape or whatever. Maybe I should call it a landscape, a portrait photo. Here we go. So this is our card, and then obviously we can select the text. Hold on. Oh, that's just in the card, okay. We could delete this if we want. That was just like a thing that's already on the card. You can't write into that, but you can write into this. So maybe you want to say from name point. And we can change the size, change the text. If you don't want this, you could always just delete it. You can rotate it, you could move it up and down, whatever. Okay. If we wanted to, we could add another text box. Write any word. Make it smaller so it doesn't give you that cutoff option. We want, and then if you wanted to change the layout of the front and you didn't just want this one picture, or maybe something like that. But that would mess up our holiday thing we have. Okay, so that's the front. Now the interior, it gives you these add text options. And you can delete these and you could transform and move them around. Write it on. And just like the other ones, you have like this, the option to change your layouts. So we can do this. Select our photo. And just like before, we could change the backgrounds too. Get red. And then you can put in your text again. And if you want, you can delete these boxes, but even if you don't delete the boxes, it's gonna come up when it's printed. And just like before, you could add your own text boxes.
Michelle, we have a question.
Can you
Okay.
can you lower opacity?
Can you what?
Lower opacity. Make it opaque.
Oh. So, it's going to do.
I think, isn't that an editing option?
Oh, do you mean like you can see like the white of the page?
So that the color is not that dominant, it's a little bit, the paper texture shows through and that kind of thing.
The red, you mean like the red background?
No,
Like the background being softer by lowering the opacity.
oh, in other words, I'm confused of what you're saying. You lower the opacity, what are you trying to accomplish?
The brightness.
The brightness, the strength of the colors, make it softer.
Oh, make it softer. Well, you can do
Of the
that,
pictures?
you can do that in editing, can't you?
Yeah, so if I double click,
You double
The
click.
picture.
The picture you do
It'll
editing, but the
switch up.
background.
What's that?
The pictures you do in editing, but the background.
No, he wants to edit the background.
the red,
Right.
right?
Choose a different color.
Is that what he's saying?
To make the red less dominant, softer.
You can't see what you're saying. You can't make the opacity softer, but you can, I don't know, go for a lighter red.
You'd have to do it here.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Yeah, no, you can't like make the red less dominant kind of thing.
Yeah, you can choose. You can choose it as an option from there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another question? Marilyn?
Is this the left inside page or the right inside page?
Oh, so this is in a landscape mode. So where the pictures are is like the top, and it's the back of the front page, and where the text is over here is like the bottom when you open like a folded card.
Okay,
So then if we go to like the corresponding page to the text would be the back.
okay, so that's actually two parts that,
Yes.
Oh, because this is the folded card, you can't add photos to the back. But on the portrait ones, or the flat ones, you can.
Wait, Michelle, did you say you can do anything with the back or can't?
You can't. So you can't add pictures. You can add text.
I think she said just on the folded cards, you can't do it, but on,
Yeah, in the single card,
on
but
the flat.
Yeah, I could change the background. I could add text on the back. But we can't like insert another picture.
1 second, I'm gonna make sure of that. Go ahead.
With regard to ordering cards,
Mm-hmm.
you order many of one type. You
Yeah.
can't order 20 individual, one card of 20 different.
So at the time, not offer that option. We are looking to like put that in the future because that's definitely something that people want. And you obviously only want shipping ones. But for right now, you can't take different card projects and put them into one order. But you can take the same project or the same card and, you know, have a quantity of 20 and then that's in one order.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
What are the prices?
Wait a minute.
What are the prices for the calendars or the cards?
Yeah, they want to know the prices, and then of course, my question is gonna be, are you gonna give us the option of that coupon?
Oh yeah, I sent in your Skype text, Skype box thing.
It's
If
in
you want,
my,
I could write it here too.
can you just email it to me? She's giving you the,
That's the 25%.
so what is that, MP? DBV 025. Can they use that over and over again, or just once?
For how long?
And can we give it to our kid?
She didn't hear me. Michelle,
Yes.
can they use that once or many times, and for how long?
There's no like end date of when you, like it doesn't go away, but you can only use it once.
Is that a 0 or an O?
But obviously if you have like a bulk order, like
Is
3
that-
or 4 photo books, it wouldn't be like 25% off only one photo book. No, it would be like in the whole.
I didn't hear that.
We didn't hear that. Hold on a second. And I'm gonna, we have to come, you gotta come back and answer that again, but I'll have to mute up. But, and then the other question is it a 0 or an O?
Oh, that's a good question. I could try it out right now. Hold on.
Looks like an O.
You know, that comes up all the time. Right,
I'll just try it out.
when you're doing it,
So here next. Okay.
you know, copy and paste it.
And you can go here, add a promo code. So it's MPDBV. Let's try 025.
Okay.
Yes,
It's a 0.
Yes.
it is 025.
How long is it for?
How long's it good for?
No, it didn't. She said-
How long is it good for?
I thought you said no.
I do believe we did not have an end date, so
You can only use it once.
there's no end date.
Okay, no end date. Any other questions? Are you gonna go through, does anybody want to say anything here about how to purchase it or anything? Can you go through that? Wait a minute, she didn't hear me. Can you go through the purchasing process?
Yes, so let's go back to our photo book.
It's it's very user-friendly.
Is there a subscription rate for the app, or do you
Oh,
buy the
that's
app
calendar.
Hmm?
once? Do you buy the app once?
This is our photo book that we started off with.
Yeah. It's just
We'll merge it. You click add to cart. Takes a second. Okay, I already have my information in, so you would put in all your information, click next. This is a made up address, so it says it doesn't work, but you would click OK. You put in your name, card number, you can put in your quantity. The reason why it's 70 is because I added like 40 extra pages. So And then I have my promo code. Paste that in. Click check. And then my order total, I agree. And then obviously I didn't put in my payment information, but you would have to just press place order.
Marilyn, ask a question.
Is the
Okay.
is the discount for the app or for the product?
Project.
For the project, okay, but not for the app?
The app is free.
Oh, the app is free,
Yeah, the app is free.
okay.
And it's for one project?
Yeah, so if you're gonna do a few projects, pick the most expensive one to take the coupon.
365 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, were you gonna cover anything else?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
All right, thank you very, very much, Michelle.
I hope you understand it better, and obviously, if you need any more help, we do have the support chat in the app. So,
Okay, yeah, what we really appreciate your time and effort, and we thank you very much. Take care.
thank you guys. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.